Hey pickleball lovers, Keith Valentine here, your guide to all things pickleball gear. Today we're diving into the luxury Gen 1 paddle by Houdef. Spoiler alert, this paddle might just become your new kitchen partner in crime. Now before we start, let me just say this is my personal opinion. Houdef isn't paying me. They just sent me these paddles to try out. No review is promised. I've reviewed over 150 paddles in my time. Trust me, if it's bad, you'll know. Let's talk about this paddle, which feels like it was made for those of us who sometimes feel like our reflexes need a little caffeine boost. We'll keep it light, fun, and dare I say, a bit spicy. So let's talk about the first impressions of this paddle. This luxury Gen 1 has a sleek aqua color. I like this aqua color. I know it screams, I'm here to win. It has style. It's 18 millimeters thick, which means it's built for control. Think of it as your trusty navigator, and the ball is whipping around like it's had too many espressos. Just by picking up this paddle, it does not feel like a cheap paddle. It's light in the hands. It is very comfortable grip, and I like to look at it. So that's a big deal to me, to be able to enjoy the look of a paddle when I first play it. All right, so let's talk about the technology and see if it's actually the game changer for this paddle. This does have a dual 100% thermo-formed system technology. That's what it says. Sounds fancy, right? But no, it just basically means that the paddle stays stable and it won't send shock waves up your arms every time you miss the sweet spot. And it means that you're gonna have a little bit fewer ouch moments and a little bit more wow shots. You can feel that it is a single piece. The construction is all the way through. It is very stiff, but it is soft to the touch, and I'll talk a little bit about that softness later. Now, it's got the arrow hole, right, hole in the paddle. It's there on purpose. It reduces the vibration, and it actually makes blocking shots feel buttery smooth. For anyone that's joints have started their own pickleball commentary, yeah, not today, friend. This one's for you. I love the feel of this paddle. It's a good blocking paddle with a little bit more offense than I was actually expecting. I'll get into that a little bit later as well. No, it's got a high density grit surface. Yeah, it's right. Now this is gritty. It's kind of like sandpaper met sophistication. It grabs the ball, lets you spin it like a pro. Now, it's not going to be a top tier spinning paddle. It's going to be in the 1800s probably. This is really going to be good because of the way the ball compresses into it. It still grabs the ball and can spin it. And it feels more gritty than the Selkirk Labs version of this with the spray grit. So they've used either like a different way to do the grit, maybe negative versus the spray grit, but it feels very stiff and gritty. And so we're gonna see if this is gonna last a little bit longer. This grit surface, these paint surfaces typically don't last, but this one feels a little bit more robust, a little bit more thick than the other paddles in its nature. Okay, so now let's go to the soft core. Obviously, this is an 18 millimeter thick paddle, and it is a dream for resets and drops and just dink battling. I love dink battling. And this also packs enough punch that you can end the point with it, especially when you're ready to say, hey, that's enough cardio for me. You can still put the ball away with this paddle. I think it's a little bit more powerful than the Lux because of the way they've done the shape, and they've always had comfortable handle. The handle here is 4 1/8, so it's good for the smaller hands. People like myself, women, smaller paddle handles makes it a little bit easier to control. And because it's still balanced, it doesn't feel that head heavy. Even though it has an 18 millimeter core, it's still a thick paddle face. It doesn't feel overly head heavy. So they've done a good job with the balance there for being this thick a paddle. Now it's unibody, right? That's the new thermoform, but then the unibody makes this a one-piece paddle in the way that they sealed the core into these paddles. It's one piece, and it is very solid all the way through. It's going to have a higher twist weight for a lighter paddle. Really, really good feeling on this paddle. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about how it plays. On the court, the Gen 1 feels like a luxury car. Like, it's smooth, it's responsive, and it's just powerful enough to remind you why you are still out here showing the younger players how it's done. So in the control area, the drops, the resets, the blocks, this paddle nails it. It's like having a magic wand for those soft touch shots. Power, despite being a control paddle, it has surprising pop. You can still drive the ball in endpoints with authority. I think of it as gentle but firm. So it's not obviously going to compete with the power paddles of the world, but this paddle still has put away power in my opinion. The spin on this right now, it's got the normal, I would probably put it in the high 1800s. It would definitely help you spin the ball because of the way it compresses in the face, like I said. This paddle delivers, and so we'll see if this grit holds out, and definitely the stability. Like when you hit off-center shots, no problem. The paddle's design keeps it stable and forgiving. Where this thing really shines, though, is the kitchen battles, right? I really enjoyed it at the net. It's as steady as the morning coffee. And in hands battles, this paddle, you know, it can keep up with the chaos. It's got extra surface area for those oops moments. With no edge guard, you know, it means that you're not going to be punished for hitting out here on the edge. The ball is going to go where you're aiming it. It's just going to lose a little bit of the power, you know, but you're going to be able to hit all the way out to the edge of the paddle. The other cool thing is that, you know, it really only weighs 7.8 ounces. So it's light and it's quick. But if you're looking for a bit more heft, you can add some lead tape to the corners and then you're good to go. And if you make this thing about 9 ounces, you're going to be a killer with it. But we'll see how the grit adds, and you add some weight to this, it hits like a Mack truck. And it just feels kind of blocky, so you're not going to know precisely where the ball is hitting on the paddle face, but you're going to know it hits over here. It's going to do, but because of the size of this paddle, it's kind of muted. But I didn't mind the feeling of it. I really enjoyed playing this paddle. So if you're someone who loves control but doesn't want to sacrifice power, the Hudef Luxury Gen 1, I think it's calling your name. It's the Selkirk Lux Control Series with a little bit more kick. And hey, and if it doesn't work out, at least you'll look good swinging it. If you're looking for a little bit more powerful, edgeless paddles or more options because you don't like the thick ones, check these out here.